Welcome to NHL Fans 365, a hockey podcast where we talk about many different topics from around the league. And here's your host, Boomstick.
What's going on, guys? Your host Boomstick of NHL Fans 365, and we have reached our 20th episode of the podcast tonight, and we got a lot to talk about. This is not an ordinary podcast because this is getting really fucking exciting. We're going to be doing a Stanley Cup Finals preview, and we're going to talk about the pros and cons of both sides of these two teams, between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the San Jose Sharks for the 2016 Stanley Cup Finals. So, with that, I got a couple of new admins on board. I have 3 of you guys on board tonight. One of our admins is having trouble getting on board because apparently he's fixing his computer. So I am just going to bring him in for now. But our admin for the Sharks is #HurdleTheTurtle. He'll be here in a little while. But to start off, we're going to introduce our Toronto Maple Leafs admin, first time on board, #BlueLeaf. How you doing, man?
Not bad, you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So, Blue Leaf is here for the first time in his life. And then we have another newbie. We have our Avalanche admin, #CurseofStPatrick. Sorry, CurseofStPatrick, if I said that correctly. How are you doing today?
I am outstanding. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. And apparently our Sharks guy just said that his friend is helping him with the PC, so he'll come down on a little bit later in the evening. And then we have our Pittsburgh Penguins admin, #Bougheriffic. First time ever for him. How are you doing today?
I'm doing alright. How about you guys?
Not too bad, not too bad. And finally, we have our Montreal Canadiens admin, #InPriceWeTrust. How's she doing tonight?
I'm doing alright, just chilling.
You better be chilling. He's not fucking come over there at some point in time and...
Yeah, okay, you need a fucking passport to get to me.
Don't worry, I got that covered. I can visit you, and you. Well, Bill and Justin I can get to pretty easily. Same with Ricky, but whatever. So we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the Stanley Cup Finals, and then towards the end of the video, we'll talk a little bit of news, and then go from there. So let's start off by, what are your thoughts, starting with Stephanie, because she's been here the longest time. What are your thoughts about the Eastern Conference Finals?
It was actually a pretty intense one of the most intense Eastern Conference Finals that I've seen over the years as I've been watching hockey overall. One of the most intense.
Interesting. And tell me what you got out of it.
Well, at the end, Pittsburgh was the better team, because Tampa Bay, they're like Montreal, they rely more on their goalie.
So they rely more on their goalie
and they're just not the same. And Tampa's not the same without Ben Bishop.
Or Steven Stamkos for the sake of argument. Or for the sake of argument. And there is actually a specific topic I want to talk about towards the end of the show about the Tampa Bay Lightning. But what about you, Justin? As a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, how do you feel about the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, the Eastern Conference Finals to me was just unbelievable. I didn't think it would go the full 7 games. I actually thought after Daly went down we were going to get out in 6, losing. But thankfully my boys pulled them out and got it all together, and now we're in the Cup.
Interesting. And what kind of impact did you get out of it?
Now that we're on this roller coaster high, knowing that we can do this without Daly, I think we'll be all right in the Cup.
I see. And then with our Avalanche guy, the CurseofStPatrick, how did you get out of the Eastern Conference? Like, what was your kind of impact? Like, what did you think about the Eastern Conference Finals?
I also did not expect 7, especially when Bishop went down in Game 1. I thought that he was done, but Vasilevsky, he stepped up like you can't even believe. Like, the entire organization they owe him a steak and lobster dinner because they hung him out to dry in Game 7, and I feel bad for the kid. And I mean, Stamkos came back and he had 5 minutes ice time in his first game back. I mean,
I could have sworn it was like I could have sworn it was a minute and 57 on the third line. I'm pretty convinced, but like you say, Tampa played a hell of a series. Vasilevsky played a hell of a series. It just came from there. I mean, the bottom line is that, like, what did you get out of the series? Ricky?
It's just, I don't know, but I'm just watching this series and I'm watching these two teams, and I just realized that the Eastern Conference, in general, they're not as strong as the Western Conference, but there's more parity in the East. Like, nobody expected them to go 7. Like, you have the West. Like, I'm obviously Western biased, but the West, you have, the Hawks, you have the whatever, and you expect them to go every single year. And to see this, I mean, not to change topics on accident here, but to see someone like San Jose just come out of nowhere and run through these top contenders, that's the kind of hockey I like watching. It's Cinderella. That's the kind of hockey I want.
I
can jump in here. I mean, if you sit there and take a look at Pittsburgh at the beginning of the year, all the way up until, mid-December when we changed coaches, I mean, nobody would have ever thought we would have been in the Cup.
Better yet, nobody thought they were going to get Carl Hagelin. And that right there, when they made that line change with Kessel, Benino, and Hagelin, the HBK line, they clicked like that. I mean, it was insane. I mean,
wish I had a coach that could find chemistry like that.
It's not easy. I can even say that to myself, with Jack Capuano and Dan Bosma, but that's that. And what about you, Bill? What did you get out of the Eastern Conference Finals?
Like the previous admins have said, I found it a very intense series, and I agree that I didn't even think it was going to go to 7 games with Bishop going down. I thought that was going to be the downfall of Tampa right where it go, but they gutted it out and made it as far as they did.
You know what? I'm very happy for them because at least though we know now that what was I going to say? Tampa Bay, they were capable of putting up a fight. I thought that Tampa, like Justin said earlier, he thought it was going to end in 6 games. I had it actually going the complete reverse. I actually had the Penguins win the series in 6 games, but apparently they lost Game 5, obviously, but then they retaliated in Game 7. Honestly, I thought Pittsburgh played a very, really, really tight Game 7 because they didn't give Tampa that much room to score, and the only way that really got them going was that goal by Jonathan Drouin. I mean, let's face it, Tampa Bay, as good as they are, do you guys feel, with all the crap they went through for the last year and a half, being eliminated from the Stanley Cup Finals last year to Chicago, and then just recently losing to Pittsburgh, do you guys feel that, out of all 4 of you, do you guys feel that Tampa will be back next year with the potential changes coming up, with the potential trade rumor of Ben Bishop and the potential departure of Steven Stamkos and all this crazy shit that's been going on with them lately?
I absolutely believe they're going to be back because they're going to re-sign Bishop. I mean, he's the reason they got as far as they did. And if you kind of take last few years, take a look at Montreal. They were top contenders until Price went down with an injury every single year. And as I said, you put a brick wall in the playoffs in net, and you're going to make a run. So they're absolutely going to sign Bishop. And especially them going this far without Stamkos, that just killed any leverage he had in contract talks. Because this team is obviously built that they don't need him anymore. Yes, he's the captain. Yes, he's a sniper. But they can do it without him. So now he just lost the biggest piece of leverage he had. So Stamkos is gone. I 100% believe Stamkos is gone.
So if this is the case, then that means Tampa Bay is going to have to open the door via trade. Get rid of Jonathan Drouin if they may potentially have to. Because I know if you guys go back in the beginning of the year or around the trade deadline, if you recall, I know Ricky had the experience of talking about this before he was an admin on our page. Was before he knew about our page, I'm sure he heard the rumors about Matt Duchene going to Tampa Bay for Jonathan Drouin.
Yeah. Well, that's from Joe Sakic wants McKinnon and Drouin on a line again because they played in their minors together. When they won their cups, they set records, whatever. They were on a line together. Sakic wants them back together on a line. Now, unfortunately, I would prefer it not be Duchene. I would prefer it be Landeskog or what's one of our other forwards. I mean, Bodker's up for a contract. We can move him before his contract goes. I would really like to not lose Duchene. I would prefer to not lose Barry, but I personally have been calling for Drouin to Colorado since he went down to the minors.
I would.
The problem with Druin stepping up in the playoffs is he took the leverage, like I was talking about. He took the leverage from Stamkos. Now he's got a case that he deserves to be there. So Tampa's got the cap space. Once they move Stamkos, they're going to have the cap space.
Well, cap space is going to bite them in the ass. I mean, especially for Tampa. I mean, I know that in the earlier, like directly after the Eastern Conference Finals, Jonathan Druin stated that he wants to stay in Tampa. He's happy. He's getting a chance to play because he's like, oh, in the end of the day, the reason I acted like an asshole through the beginning of the time frame because I was immature and all I wanted to do was play. Because he was getting so much shit for just playing in, Syracuse and, playing in junior hockey, in Halifax, he's been everywhere. And this guy was just such a malcontent that I actually thought he was going to get traded from the Tampa Bay Lightning, but apparently that's not going to happen at this point, unless for some reason a team like Toronto or Colorado or Ottawa or Anaheim, another team like that, steps up to the rinks and actually comes up and takes it from them. You know what I mean? Like, come up from that ring. Forget the fact that he played well in the playoffs, but could just sort of like step up to the line and just make the trade. Just boom, make it happen. And, get rid of part of Tampa's future. I mean, I would tell you right now, if the Tampa Bay Lightning trade Jonathan Druin, they're going to screw their whole roster and their whole farm system big time. Because Stamkos was great. Half of Tampa's, system is great. And then you trade a piece for a valuable piece like Druin. 3 years ago, he was a former first-round pick. Now, all of a sudden, he's off the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, not that he is now, but let's say he is. Colorado may potentially get something big for him, or Toronto, or whoever. It all comes down to that. So, with that said, I just think the Tampa Bay Lightning should just let Stamkos walk, keep Bishop where it is, and then get rid of someone else down the line, or trade a big contract, because the salary cap for the Tampa Bay Lightning is killing them, as far as I'm concerned.
I can potentially see Druin and Victor Hedman going in a deal, because Hedman's taken up cap space too. And there's teams out there that need a presence in the back. So if they can move two names like that and clear the cap space, I honestly think they go in a package. I really do. Especially to a team like Colorado that is dying for solid defensemen.
I honestly, man, don't think they're gonna trade Victor Hedman because he is the backbone of the Tampa Bay Lightning's defense. It's just not gonna happen. I think they may trade Garrison, but I don't think they're gonna trade one of their top players. I don't think that's just going to happen because, with Tampa Bay, their defense is so solid. Why trade away their most valuable piece on defense? Simple, right? I mean,
I don't know. I just heard Hedman's name come up because I know he's going to have a contract. He's got a contract coming up too. So I think they're going to want to get rid of him before they have to re-sign him too. If they can start the rebuild, because I don't know, the players, they have a lot of contracts coming up. They got Bish coming up, they got Druin coming up, they got Hedman coming up, they got Callahan coming up.
Well, Callahan actually re-signed a couple years ago, so he's got 4 years left to his deal. Callahan.
Okay, was it a 4? I thought it was 2.
No, it was.
When he came over from New York, I thought they gave him a 2-year extension.
Well, no, it was 6 years worth about $27 million when he first signed with the Lightning. Yeah, so that's that. What does anybody else have any thoughts about Tampa Bay's future?
Well, I think Tampa Bay is in the same boat as Pittsburgh is with the contract disputes and all that other stuff going on. I mean, if you sit there and you really sit there and take a look at like Benino's contract and Kessel's contract and all the other guys we have coming up, we could have a potential situation where we could get rid of a couple people and move on and just separate ways. But I mean, if we win the cup and they really start doing really well, like here in the Stanley Cup Finals, I don't know why you'd want to get rid of them.
Now, is there a play you would like to get rid of to dump some cap space after the cup, or do you feel that they're going to want to stay?
I've been all over Lovejoy since he came back to Pittsburgh. I don't like him at all. He has been solid throughout the playoffs, though, so maybe he saw the posts. I don't know. But I just don't like Lovejoy at all. I mean, I'd love to get rid of him. But then again, he's also one of our biggest bodies on D. If we get rid of him, then we're going to have to try to bring in somebody like a Hedman-type player. but I don't see that ever happening because we're all trying to go mobile and fast and a high-scoring offense.
That is true, but do you feel like these contracts, obviously they're not going to get rid of Crosby or Malkin, but do you somewhere, and be very honest with me about this, Justin, do you honestly think within another year or two, the Penguins may consider trading Phil Kessel?
I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what we can do with the cap to try to keep him in Pittsburgh. Because as far as I can tell from seeing a couple of his interviews on the news and stuff, he loves Pittsburgh. He knows it's a great hockey town. He knows that people or kids here idolize him just by the way he plays, by being hard and being out of shape and still putting his all out on the ice. I do see that there's a possibility we get rid of him, especially whenever his the contract from Toronto to Pittsburgh is up, because I think Toronto still has half of his salary that they're paying.
And Bill, how do you feel as a Leafs fan? How do you feel about Phil Kessel and James Reimer going to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Well, good luck to both of them, I can say, but unfortunately, I wasn't a big Kessel fan to begin with. I think Toronto gave up way too much for him. He never performed at the top of his abilities when he came to Toronto.
I don't know how that is, considering he was your best player for 6 years.
But if you look at his track record from when he was in Boston and minors, his numbers were a lot better than what he did in Toronto.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, you have a guy who pretty much carried your whole team for 6 years, including the time where he performed. And the thing I think Penguins fans and Leafs fans absolutely love about Phil Kessel is that the guy is an Iron Man, and I think we can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. The guy can never get injured because he's just, he's just built like that. I don't know why, but Phil Kessel's a hell of a hockey player, so I can't really deny that about him. I mean, the one thing I think works out for Phil Kessel in Pittsburgh is that he actually has line mates to play with in Pittsburgh. Not to talk shit about him in Toronto or anything, but Phil Kessel pretty much had James Van Riemsdyk, and then he had a bunch of other players in their system that just came out of nowhere, that never really got to, build up the chemistry and become the players that they were, you know what I mean? But just by playing with Phil Kessel, and then of course, they had Dion Phaneuf, and that didn't work out too well either.
A.K.A. the Pylon?
Yeah, the Pylon. Now, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about... Yeah, can't talk. How do you feel about Dion Phaneuf being an Ottawa Senator at this point?
Hey, I look at it as this way. At least we got rid of the Pylon. That's all he was good for.
Yeah, but what about Kessel?
Kessel seems to have turned himself around and got back to his old scoring style, which I think was a big problem that Toronto didn't do with him. Gave him the chance to use his abilities. They tried to keep switching his line mates, and he couldn't get comfortable.
What about James Reimer?
Reimer, it seems to be he's becoming more of an injury-prone player now than what he was. One minor injury earlier in his career, and the last year, almost 2 years, he's had quite a few injuries.
I think that's fair to say. I mean, when he was in Toronto, to be fair, he was pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really complain. But going in, what is Pittsburgh's best strength and weakness? Like, what from all of you guys, what do you guys think is Pittsburgh's best strength and weakness? Like, their pros and cons going in.
You want me to start?
Yes, because you are our Penguins guy.
The biggest weakness is the strength we have down the middle. I mean, Crosby, Gino, and Bonino, and now Matt Collins starting to step his game up. The strength down the middle and the style of play that we do have, that's probably our biggest strength. And then if you start factoring in some of the wings that we have, the Hagelin, the Kessels, the Russ that's starting to step his game up. If you start putting all those guys together and start actually, start looking at what they're doing, that's definitely a huge strength. And then our downfall is it has to be Murray in that, because he's still a rookie. He hasn't had this kind of pressure put on him before. And I think that if they can put a lot of pressure on him, he might break. but he's surprised us before, so I don't see why he wouldn't do it in the Cup.
Now, what about their defense? Like, what is your biggest thoughts going in about their defense? Because I know, and I think everybody at this point knows that Trevor Daley is pretty much done for the playoffs.
Well, the way that we move the puck around the D, especially with Mata still trying to recover from his concussion that he had, he still hasn't played the same way he has before the Washington series. As long as we can keep our guys healthy on the back line, we should be all right. But it is a collision sport. They're prone to get hurt. I mean, take a look at what happened to Mata, what happened to Letang. I mean, that can happen to anybody. So as long as they keep their head on a swivel and know that every time they go into that corner, they're a target, especially Letang and Mata, since they're probably two of the best defensemen we have right now. As long as they stay in the game, we'll be all right.
And what about goaltending?
I'd actually like to see Fleury at least start game one to see how he acts. It's kind of like a hit and a miss, only because if you put Fleury in, it might shake Murray for the rest of the series. But also, Fleury's got the experience. He's got the Cup already. He's got everything that you want in your starting goaltender. But Murray's been playing lights out the games that he has been on. He's let a couple bad goals go by, but who hasn't? It's a toss-up.
And be very honest with me about this, because I'm going to ask you this question. If the Penguins want to save up salary within coming draft day, do you feel the Penguins will trade Marc-Andre Fleury? And I know you just said that you want to see him start in game one, but that's just not fair to throw in a guy who pretty much got a concussion or whatever happened to him in the beginning of the playoffs, and then just all of a sudden came back and then played in game 5 and did pretty poorly, and then all of a sudden you may potentially say he might start in game 1.
Well, would I like to see Fleury go? No, because I think we'd have an amazing 1-2 goalie tandem. But as far as Fleury starting, I mean, he hasn't played since March 31st. The only game he played was game 5. He's rusty. I mean, it's going to take him more than one game to get back into game form.
Yeah, I hear you, but he's definitely not the Marc-Andre Fleury from 2009 when the Penguins won the Cup. I mean, that's just, bottom line. I mean, now, what about depth? Like how do you feel about the Penguins' depth at this point? I mean, names that's not named Crosby, Malkin, Kessel.
The depth is really deep. I mean, you see any of the guys coming up like Rust, and we got Sundqvist, who's a healthy scratch. Guys like that are definitely the Penguins' future. Love to see him come up and actually do well. I don't see Russ getting knocked back down next year. I mean, just the way the kid's been playing, he's playing like he's been in the NHL for years.
I mean, it's only as fair as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true, but I don't know. I feel Pittsburgh, and I know you guys can debate about this too. I feel like Pittsburgh only has right now 3 legitimate defensemen, so far 2, because Daley is out. And I know you reported earlier today on the blog, on the page, I should say, you made a post saying, even though he's going to be out for 46 weeks, which I think is impossible, that you said that he may potentially not rule himself out for the Stanley Cup Finals with that broken leg. Because I know you said that Trevor Daley may come back for the Stanley Cup Finals for any of the games.
Yeah, we do have one of the best hospital groups in the country. We have some of the best physical therapy in the country. If he works hard enough and put plates in his leg or something, he might be ready. He's not going to be ready by tomorrow night. I mean, that's unrealistic.
Yeah, I mean...
But maybe game 4 and all the way up, I mean, he might be ready. But, I'm not a doctor. I can't speculate on when he's going to be ready. I was just posting what popped up in my Penguins newsfeed. So
That's true. Unless you guys see the movie Deadpool, when Deadpool kicks Colossus in the balls or something like that, he breaks his leg and he's like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen Deadpool?
Yes, I have.
No.
Yeah, when he kicks Colossus in the balls and it's like his leg is like that or something. Like, it was just like, oh my god, that's fucking gross. I feel like if they do that to Trevor Daley, it's gonna get ugly. And I'm sorry, Justin, I don't want to break your heart or anything, but I just feel they should not play Trevor Daley. As good as he is, as a dead player, I do not think it's necessary for them to rush him to come back, because God forbid he injures himself even further.
Yeah, I mean, he is 32. He's not healing like he would in his mid-20s. I mean, it's a toss-up with him. I mean, how he's feeling. I mean, he could sit there and be, oh, I'm fine, and then come out and play like crap. And then I have a feeling Sully would sit him anyway.
I mean, I know that from experience as a Buffalo Sabres fan. I know Derek Roy had a concussion in like 2011 or 2010 or something like that. The year the Sabres last made the playoffs, when they played the Flyers, if you remember. Derek Roy had a concussion from, Christmas time all the way to Game 7 in the quarterfinals against Philly, and he played like absolute horseshit. And then within a year later, he suffered through the same crap again. He gave the whole, the whole community crap. He gave the team crap, and then he got traded to Dallas, and it was like good riddance. And then he just became a journeyman from there. But that's just from personal experience. But I don't think the Penguins, if they're that intelligent about keeping their guys healthy, I would suggest sitting him out for the most part.
Sounds like he was in the Randy Carlyle concussion protocol.
Pretty much, just about. But the except thing is, though, thank God for his career that he's not on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sorry, Bill. I mean, I always take jabs at the Leafs. I'm just pointing that out now, because I am a Sabres fan, and I always have my roots. And, of course, Bill, I'm sure, is used to it at this point of his life.
Nothing unusual.
Maybe not you.
Well, me as a Habs fan,
Oh, we don't even want to go there.
I always hated the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. I'm
Wait.
sorry. I mean, I hate the Leafs and the Bruins.
Wait, did you say... Wait. Did you just say Bruins, as in B-O-O-I-N-S?
Yes.
I like the Boston Bruins.
No, I said Boston.
You sound like Marchand when you talk like that.
Ah, damn you, Ricky.
I hate Boston. I hate all Boston sports. I'm sorry.
I think...
Let me tell you, I'm a Red Sox fan.
Get the hell out of my...
Yeah, be gone.
No, be gone. Sorry, get out.
Sucks. Red Sox. S-U-X. Red Sox.
Yeah, Red Sox suck too, okay?
Oh, fuck the Yankees.
Okay, fair enough. We can do that.
27 rings. 27 rings.
Oh, shut up!
fuck.
Shit about
Good
how
game.
many World Series the Yankees have.
Alright.
Habs ain't anything good. They've never won the World Series.
The Habs have 24 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, but they've never won a World Series, so they ain't good.
Hey, when was the last time
And-
Montreal won a cup?
1993. 23 years ago.
What was... Yeah.
Were you even alive?
Montreal deserves one in a few years.
Were you born yet?
I was only born in 1997 when the Red Wings won it.
I was born in 92, so I was just about a year old when the Montreal Canadiens won the Stanley Cup. But I was, however, born 3 months after the Penguins won their second Stanley Cup.
That makes me feel old because I was born in 86, so I was about 5 or 6.
Oh,
when they
you
won the
were
cup.
born when Montreal won the Stanley Cup, their 23rd.
with rookie of the year, Patrick Waugh.
Exactly.
Ah, God damn it.
But I will say this about Tampa Bay, to get back on topic, that as long as they can keep Vasilevsky and Drouin, they definitely have a team in the making. I mean, if they get rid of Stamkos and Bishop, they'll be all right. They'll be back in the playoffs again soon.
Only moment to find out, because Stamkos, there's a whole article, which I'll get into the end of the video, is that there's a Hockey News cover, and I'll show you at the end of the video if you guys can see it, of the next issue of the Hockey News, which, by the way, I actually just got my copy today. And, Bill, this is for you, man.
Hey, Bubby, I'm going to have to get ready to take off here soon, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
All right, bye.
Yep. Later, Justin. So that's our
Later.
Pittsburgh Penguins happening, guys. So now we are down to the 3. Well, technically 4, but that's that. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Ricky?
Well, going back to what we were talking about earlier with Pittsburgh's cap space, I actually pulled up the Kessel trade because I couldn't remember what the detail was. Pittsburgh sold the farm to get him because I didn't realize just how much they gave up to get Kessel. Pittsburgh is absolutely boned in the draft this year because they gave up a first and a conditional in this year's draft. And because they made the finals, it turns into a second round. So they don't have a first or a second round pick this year.
No, because the first turned into the conditional pick they got. Come on again. The conditional pick that they got in the trade. Sorry, I'm just letting my dog in, guys.
That's fine.
The trade the pick that they gave up in that trade was a conditional, I think, second. But you know what? In the end of the day, they made the call.
It was a conditional fourth. It was a conditional. It was a fourth if they didn't make playoffs. It was a third if they made playoffs, and then it turned into a second when they made the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, Pittsburgh was gonna probably get rid of the pick in regards. I'd be surprised if they didn't get the pick, the Leafs, because that would have completely fucked up their entire plan. You know, to give up all these assets and then later give up the farm system. See, that's why if you hear me sometimes talk about the Rangers, the Rangers give up half of their entire farm system for players who don't do shit for them for the next year or two, and then they're gone. I mean, just look at Marty St. Louis, look at Keith Yandel. I mean, those are guys who constantly give up for their first round picks. They're not even eligible for first round picks unless it's fucking St. Louis who retires within a year after that trade, and Callahan is still rolling up the numbers.
Yeah, just the Rags they screwed themselves. I mean, they sold the farm to buy a cup and they didn't get a cup. And now they're screwed for, I would probably say, at least the next 5 to 6 years.
I think they're going to be going to a 10-year rebuild because Lundqvist is rumored to be traded in the offseason, and then there's talks about them getting rid of Rick Nash, and there's also recently been talks about Derek Stepan going to Minnesota, and apparently our Wild guy, gross. Yeah, because our Minnesota Wild guy is a writer for the Wild on Fanside.com, and he said that there's no confirmation about Derek Stepan being involved in trade with the Minnesota Wild. So I don't know if I should believe him or I should believe what else otherwise, you know, because there's been rumors about everybody lately from left to right, from the whole entire beginning of the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's be honest.
The only problem I have with that trade is where's Minnesota gonna put them? Because they have they have solid 3 lines of defensemen. I just don't. Who are they gonna move to get them?
I honestly don't know. I really don't know. I mean, they can give up Pominville. They can get rid of Vanek. Hell, they can even get rid of Mikko Koivu. Get a little younger. Because the thing that everyone has been telling me, our Minnesota Wild guys, they've been telling me that the Wild need centers. And they don't have one, apparently. And Derek Stepan is supposedly from Minnesota, if I recall. He's 25, and he got a massive 6-year contract last year with the New York Rangers. And then all of a sudden, now he's on the trade block? Like, what the fuck kind of logic is that? This is why the Rangers cannot be taken seriously when it comes to winning championships. Because they give out these big-name contracts to players, and then they don't do shit for you for the next, 5-6 years.
Well, in regards to what you were saying, I just put, because, I hate the Wild. I hate all things Minnesota because they're the devil. I pulled up their roster here because I wasn't entirely sure. And these are their centers. They're legit centers, not... They have Mikko Koivu, who, he's old. He's at the thing. He's wearing the C. He doesn't have to be a presence. He's got to be leadership. They've got Erik Haula, which is probably, my opinion, the best center of the group. They've got Charlie Coyle. They've got Michael Granlund, which I could see them moving Granlund.
I don't think so.
They've got Captain Kilo, Jarrett Stoll, on the bench, waivers, whatever they got, that he's on the roster.
Why don't they just call him Captain Coke?
That's just... I always called him Captain Kilo. So, and then they have Jordan Schroeder, he's all right. He was a rookie.
I mean, there's a lot of those time frames, but you never know with these kind of things. But what would you say, guys, Bill or Steph or Ricky? What would you guys be having an impact on if Derek Stepan was available, if he truly is?
He would have to go on a team where he would have at least a supporting defenseman. Because I've noticed in New York that New York has always gone on they've always double covered on their defensemen. And I don't know if that was from Tortorella and it just carried on, or if that's an AV. Rangers they've always had two defensemen. Cover, and then they've had their three forwards spread out, but they've always had their defensemen double up back. So if you're gonna have Stefan on a team, you're gonna have to have someone to support him. And I'm not sure a lot of teams are built like that, at least not where he wants to go.
That is
so I think if Stefan moves, he's probably gonna lose some production. I really do.
Only one way to find out. So,
right.
There's been talks about Stamkos. There's been talks about Stefan. In fact, there's even been talks about Ben Bishop going to Calgary.
I don't think Big Ben is gonna go to the Flames. He wants to stay in Tampa. He loves it there.
It's not about who he loves there. It's a matter about business. It's what's best for the team. Because by the end of next year, when he becomes a UFA, Ben Bishop is going to want a massive contract. Let's think about that, guys.
And Stevie's going to move him. Because Stevie Eisner is one of the best GMs in the league right now. And I've said that for a long time. Stevie's going to move him because he's not. They got Vasilevsky proven himself, so they can afford to lose him. If it costs them some playoff games in the short term for the long run, they're going to make that move.
I think they should just trade Vasilevsky and then keep Bishop where he is. I know that Ben Bishop has injury issues, but still, he's been their best goalie. Let's be honest here. Vasilevsky, when he went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year as a backup, he didn't really get to really show his true identity. And I understand, like 4 or 5 years ago, he was a former first-round draft pick by the Tampa Bay Lightning. But that doesn't mean anything, because in order to prove that you're eligible to be a first-round pick, you have to show that you're eligible. Because to me, Vasilevsky is more than nothing than a backup. And I know that's kind of harsh, but I'm just telling the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's only a matter of time. But so we got kind of off topic here a little bit. So let's continue with the Western Conference Finals. But starting with Bill, because I know Bill hasn't said anything in a while. What's your impact on the Western Conference Finals between St. Louis and San Jose?
Well, St. Louis tried to go the speed game with San Jose, and San Jose is big and they're already quick to begin with. It just buried St. Louis right from the word go, and that was their whole problem.
I see. And, who do you think was the best standout player going in?
Take those bags downstairs or something in there.
It was because, like I said, I'm in the West. I know the West better than the East. Joe Pavelski, he stepped up and he turned into the player that we all knew he was going to be. You just needed to actually give him the shot. Let him take the shot. And then if you finally put a team around him, that's what San Jose hasn't had in a long time, is actually a team built around its star players. Like, they've had plug and plays, they've had supporting roles, but they've never had their core guys and then a team around them, and that's why they're going far. You have your Joe Pavelski, you have your Brent Burns, and you have your Joe Thornton, and then you have everyone say, hey, these are our leaders, these are our point scorers, let them do work, and then we will follow them. And that's why they're going forward. Because you have a 1-2 of Martin Jones and James Reimer in net. And that is, in my opinion, that is one of the most mediocre 1-2s in the league. James Reimer, he's the starter in Toronto for a lot of years, and I've always been a big Reimer fan. I always have. And I don't know why. But and Martin Jones got a bad deal being behind Jonathan Quick for a lot of his years. That's just a bum deal. But if you look at career numbers and everything, Reimer and Jones in net should probably not be in the Stanley Cup Finals, in all honesty. And that just shows the credit of the forwards in front of them.
I'm actually shocked you didn't mention Patrick Marleau.
I haven't, and personally, I haven't seen a lot of Marleau this year. He's one of those guys that just say, hey, these are guys. And he's behind him. He's setting up the plays. I haven't seen a lot of Marleau in making a stand making that push. It's been on Pavelski and Burns and Thornton and all of them.
I mean, he's been clicking some points, but not as good as he used to be. You know, look at Joe Pavelski. Joe Pavelski, let's face it, is having a fucking monstrous postseason. I mean,
Yeah, he pulled this one out of his pocket, and he couldn't have picked a better time to.
Oh yeah, definitely. And surprisingly, I thought Joe Pavelski. I didn't think he was gonna play like this. I really didn't. I mean, I think what motivated him more to be this productive was, and this might sound stupid, but just bear with me, is because he was named captain, and I think that it really sparked him to be the guy that he is now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you put a guy on that pedestal. I mean, some players are gonna fall back being in the light, and some players are gonna step up being in the light. And Pavelski has just grabbed that captaincy and just ran with it. And and that's another reason I think they've succeeded, because they have people taking the light and going with it. You have people stepping up, taking the reins of the team, and saying, "All right, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going. Let's go play some hockey, boys."
And I agree with that too. I mean, what about you, Steph or Bill? What do you guys think about the San Jose Sharks?
This is like San Jose's first Stanley Cup final in franchise history. Let's be honest here. They haven't had a very good team in over 20 years that could get this far in the playoffs.
I don't think that's true, because think about what happened a few years back. 2011, 2009, 2000.
Shush. I don't want to talk about the 2011 Sharks.
Why? What happened to them? What happened there?
May have swept us in the playoffs. I don't want to talk about them.
Aww.
Oh, cry baby.
More Ricky.
Somebody's all butthurt.
Where's the Canucks admin? I need to pick on him.
Nowhere to be found as usual.
Well, you could pick on him in the chat.
Yeah. Did you realize, Hunty, where the fuck are you? Why did you fuck up my season, you fucking asshole? It's alright, Ricky. We love you, man. We love you.
Sorry to go off topic here. Bobby.
Yes.
Did you hear about what the Mets manager did?
Yeah, whatever.
It's like, I saw that on my timeline yesterday, and I'm like, whoa, this guy took it out. All out.
I didn't see any of the games, to be honest with you, lately, because I've been so distracted with the Stanley Cup Finals.
Syndergaard got screwed.
I'm a Met fan, okay? And I'm going to Mike Piazza tonight, and we're seeing your Colorado Rockies, by the way, Ricky. We're going to be kicking your fucking ass on July 30th, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, all right. Whatever, dude. All I'm saying is I'm a Mets fan too, because
my first CFL game.
I'm sort of a Mets fan too, because the 51s are their farm club, so like almost their entire roster I saw play in the minors down here, so they're the sentimental team.
Okay, fair enough. But you're still considered a Rocky fan in my heart, because you are from Vegas and you technically root for the Avalanche.
I'm born in Vegas, but my heart's in Colorado. Like, my family's from Colorado. I get there. My heart's in Colorado. I was just born here.
Yeah, we know. It's just how, like me, I made myself a Buffalo fan. I live nowhere near it. I live on Long Island, home of the Islanders, because that's my second team, and primarily my first team is Buffalo, so that's...
You mean the Brooklyn Islanders?
No, don't you fucking dare, dude. Don't you fucking dare.
The Brooklyn Islanders?
Shut the fuck...
Brooklyn Islanders have no Stanley Cups.
Yeah, at least my team won 4 cups in a row, you bitch.
At least my team's won a Stanley Cup this century.
I hate you. God damn it.
Hey.
My cups come courtesy of Montreal, so.
Yeah. You want to see something? Come here. What is that?
I'm born and raised in Montreal, and I'm a Habs fan for the rest.
What is that, Ricky? What is that?
That's some team that doesn't exist anymore, I guess. The New York Islanders.
No, the New York Islanders. They live in New York. They're on the edge of Brooklyn, which I understand they are. It's in New York, but they will come back to the Coliseum because I live like 10 minutes from it, and it will be renovated. End of the story. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. So San Jose, what do you guys think? Steph or Bill, what do you guys think of the San Jose Sharks?
This is, like I said, this is their first Stanley Cup final. But in the Western Conference final, St. Louis gave San Jose a very good series, believe it or not.
I think so too. And what do you call
And
it?
the Blues basically told Hitchcock, if you get us eliminated, you might be fired.
Well, here's Bipsy to help you out today. And for the newbies, Bipsy is our bad luck llama. He's the mascot of the podcast. So when somebody says something stupid like Hitchcock's gonna get fired, Bipsy comes out. This is the bad luck llama. We agree on this.
I'm new here. I'm gonna agree.
Good.
That's okay. I'm just gonna sit here.
I will make you look at this fucking llama. Take a look.
That's fine.
Look.
It's Toronto colors.
No, it's not.
Too light of a shade of blue there, Ricky. Try that one again.
Nope. Nope. But yeah. So anyway, who do you guys think was the best defensive player, and how do you guys feel about the Sharks' defense, in general? We talked about the offense, but what about the defense?
I mean, it's the Brent Burns show. It really is. I think Brent Burns is a shoo-in for the. I can't remember if it's Masterson or the other one, which is Defenseman of the Year. I can't remember, but Burns is a shoo-in for it. Like all respect to Carlson. I mean, he had a great year, but it's Burns' year. It really is.
Now, here's the thing. I've heard Rob, our Shark fan, met Hurdle Turtle, if any of you recall. I'm sure you guys all seen him on the chat or whatever. He's telling me, and I think he was on my previous podcast, if I remember, before the Stanley Cup Finals, he mentioned that Brent Burns has a great slap shot, but he's a turnover machine, apparently. That's from what I understand.
It's not so much he's a turnover machine, it's that he's got some really, really bad timing on his turnovers. Like he's got a lot of defensive zone turnovers, and that's really kind of his only downfall, because he's like Bufflin. He's a very offensive defenseman. Like I know that they put Bufflin up on the wing and whatever, but Buff has always been a defenseman at heart. I mean, I'm biased because Bufflin is probably my favorite non-Avalanche player in the league, but that's my own personal reason. But Burns is just he's a taller Bufflin. Like he just, if he can get his possession down a little bit, I think he's going to lead that team for years to come, because I really do.
Now, what about other names like Justin Braun and Jason Demers? I mean, not Jason Demers, Brendan Dillon and Marc-Edouard Vlasic, like guys like that. Like, what's your impact about them?
Well, Vlasic, he is from he is a fantastic player. He played for a local minor hockey association near me. His nickname has always been Pickles, because think Vlasic Pickles, and that's how he got his nickname from San Jose.
What, Pickles?
Yeah.
There are a brand of pickles here.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Classic pickles.
Yeah.
Should have been called plastic pickles, because some of the pickles are plastic or something. But I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's just ridiculous. It's like calling a full-grown man Honey Boo Boo. I mean, would you call a full man Pickles? Would you?
Hockey's a weird sport. They have lots of weird nicknames. I mean,
want to go dumb on nicknames? Look up Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Doug Martin. Guess what his nickname is? Seriously, I want you to just
What?
take. Seriously, I want you to just take a guess real quick.
Fantasy Rookie of the Year that won me a championship about 3 years ago. That's what I call him.
No.
All right, we all remember the 350-yard 7-touchdown game. We all remember it.
Yes. I know. Actually, Bill, I don't know about him, so I don't know if he follows the NFL or not. I don't think so, though.
I'm a Patriots fan.
God damn it, Bill!
Oh,
God damn it!
oh, man, I'm a
Teacher-
Packers fan.
Long
Teacher-
before Brady.
No!
Okay. Wait. Bandwagon test. Who was the quarterback before Bledsoe?
Oh, jeez, now you're gonna make me think.
This is my bandwagon check for all Patriots fans. Who was the quarterback before Bledsoe?
Now you're gonna make me think now.
I hate the Patriots and a story.
Everybody hates them.
It's the Patriots.
Everybody thinks because of
Never
what supposedly Brady did.
There's no supposedly
I
about it.
never,
Nothing's
ever,
been proven yet, so.
I never liked the Patriots. I never liked Tom Brady or his guts.
Gus, you look
Tom
at people.
Brady
Wait,
is
Steph.
a
You look at
jackass, in my
wait, Steph.
opinion.
Wait, Steph. You look at people's belly buttons.
No.
What the hell? You just said his guts.
No.
That's gross.
She's from Montreal. They're weird up there. They have different-
Oh.
Shut up.
Yeah, but I'm a Bills fan, so I can't say much. Sorry.
Y'all got a team.
Yeah.
I mean, you're no
In
Jets, but
Montreal, we
you got
have
a team.
Canadian football. Like, we have a quarterback coach who used to play in the in the States before coming to Montreal. That is Anthony Calvillo, who's now the Alouettes quarterback coach.
Interesting. So about this whole nickname thing, Muscle Hamster is Doug Martin's nickname. For those of you who don't know.
Oh my god, that is weird as fuck.
Yeah. So is calling a full-grown man Pickles. It's like calling him a fucking pear. Like, come on. Why name your teammates after fruit and vegetables? That's just it's stupid. Anyway, so besides Vlasic, is there another player in your mind, guys? Steph, Bill, or Ricky? Do any of you think, in your minds, is there another defenseman out there that really stands out to you besides Brent Burns?
That's tough. That's really tough.
And that's very tough, Bobby. Brent Burns is just the most standout.
Yeah.
Not even
Personal
Vlasic?
opinion. And Vlasic too. They're both standouts.
Not even Vlasic or
I just said Vlasic.
well, I'm sorry.
It's not my fault he's got ears full of wax.
Yeah, I know. What about what's his face? Shit. Brennan Dillon.
It's the problem with having a superstar at your position is you're not going to get a lot of limelight unless you make a lot of big plays. This is the problem with the other defensemen on the Sharks, because it's Burns making the plays, so no one else is going to think about him.
That is true. I mean, it's not all about Brent Burns. Just remember that. I mean, he's not a one-man show. It's not like Pittsburgh where they just have Mata and Letang.
Right.
So
The only problem with that is they're dinged up. They're hurt. I mean, they're fighting. Letang's already missed time with an injury in the playoffs. Mata's missed time. I mean, they're skating on borrowed time. They're one bad hit away from missing the finals. So, I mean, that's got to be in the back of their head. I mean, that's got to be in the back of the team's head, which means they're going to be shifting their focus a little bit to make sure to protect them, which I think is going to open some lanes. And I think the injuries to Pittsburgh's big players is what's going to cost them a cup.
I think that's fair to say, but we'll see what happens when San Jose plays Pittsburgh. in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, who's going to have the better defense? Now, goaltending. What do you guys think about Martin Jones at this point?
It's like I was saying earlier. He's career mediocre, but if he's on a streak, if he's the hot hand, you go with the hot hand. Like, I love Reimer, but it's just like Murray and Flower Power. If you go with Murray, he's the hot hand. Like, I don't agree. I don't think they ever should have put Fleury in the game. What was it? 4?
No.
5?
5.
5?
Yeah.
I don't think Fleury should have ever started that game. Goalies have bad games. It's up to them to get over it. Now, if you start Murray game 5 and then he lets a few in, then you put Fleury in. But to put Fleury in, start game 5, I think did more damage to Murray than it helped Fleury. Because now you've gotten Murray out of the starter mindset.
Well, I don't see how that is, because Murray was playing in game 7. And he could be the potential starter for game 1.
As he should be. He's earned it.
I agree. And like I mentioned earlier on the show, I said that Fleury could be trade bait. And Justin was saying, if Murray is continuing to play like he is now, there's a chance that maybe, just maybe, that Fleury could be traded. There's a chance.
I can see it.
You can see it. What about you, Bill or Steph? What do you guys think with the San Jose Sharks goaltending?
I'd say Jones has been stand out throughout the entire playoffs. Matt Murray has been fantastic throughout the playoffs, believe it or not, for Pittsburgh. But let's get back to San Jose here. Martin Jones deserves to have a starting role because he got sick and tired of being back up to Quick in Los Angeles, which is true. And what I'm trying to say here, he deserves to have a starting role.
Now, does anybody, correct me if I'm wrong, any of you guys, didn't Martin Jones request a trade out of Los Angeles, or he did just get traded naturally? Does anybody remember?
Not off the top of my head, no.
No, I don't remember.
Not off the top of my head.
I don't think he requested a trade. From what I recall, I don't think he ever requested it. But
I believe no.
I don't remember either. But I think though but let's be fair though, he's been having a hell of a season, and I think the biggest contradiction is the coaching change that San Jose made in last offseason, was getting rid of Todd McClellan and bringing in Pete DeBoer. I think that right there changed the entire mojo in San Jose's system.
Yeah, see, coaching changes work sometimes they don't. I mean, you look at Pittsburgh. I mean, Dan Bylsma, he took him to the cup, won him a cup, and he just wasn't getting it done anymore. I mean, it's not that he wasn't doing bad. It's just they expected more out of the team, so they made the move. They went to the new coach, and now they're back in the Stanley Cup Finals.
I think this is the same. I don't know if it's just me, but you guys can argue with me about this all you want. I don't care. It's just my opinion. It's just that I think from the 2009 Stanley Cup Penguins, I think the reasoning why the Penguins got so far out is because of Crosby and Malkin and just them exploding in the playoffs that year. And then Bylsma was just kind of like, the backseat driver. And then those two were just the Trojan horse of that team. And then after they went to the Cup and won it, obviously, it almost came into a matter of time. And then they haven't done shit in, years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Yep. And I mean, it only makes sense to me as long as, it comes into a matter of time. So I'm bringing in Blades now, and she just requested to come on the show. So I am more than glad to take her on board. And, but going in to the Stanley Cup Finals, what do you guys think of San Jose's depth?
I think that is actually their biggest concern, is depth. because I'm going to pull up their roster real quick because a lot of their names I'm not familiar with. That's the downside of being a Cinderella team. There's a lot of people you don't know.
I don't think San Jose is a Cinderella team. I just think they were that fucking good this year.
You look at the teams they had to play. By all rights, they should probably not be there. A lot of people, I think the majority of people didn't have them getting past the Kings.
I mean, it's only a matter of time. But depth-wise, let's take a look. You have something Carpenter. I don't know who that is. That's my Sharks guy. Loki Couture, he's been great. John Skoy, he's been great. Godobalin, how do you say his name? He's been okay. I don't know anything about him. Gaudreau, I don't know anything about him, but I'm sure. Again, my Sharks guy knows all these things. Michael Haley used to play for the Islanders. Tomas Hertl.
Hertl.
Yep, Hertl the Turtle.
Am I just missing him, or has he just not been doing anything this postseason?
Who?
Hertl. I put him and Couture both, and I don't know if I'm just missing it or what, but a name like Hertl, you'd think I'd see more of, and he's just not there.
Couture's been pretty good this year. You got to give him credit. You know, Loki Couture's been great this whole playoff run, so you can't really argue with me about, I mean, there are people out there that will, but I'm sure that, down the line, Couture would be a great piece to the Sharks. But, so you got Carlson, you got Patrick Marleau, you got Matt Nieto, who for some reason Rob doesn't like, Joe Pavelski, Nick Spaulding, Joe Thornton, I think this is his name, Chris Tierney, I'm not sure, Joel Ward, Mr. Clutch, Tommy Wingles, and Dinah Zubris, ex-Buffalo.
Wingles is probably been the one who's impressed me the most because I didn't expect much from him, and he's really been producing.
Yeah, I agree with you. What about you guys, Bill and Steph? What do you guys think about the Sharks' depth right now?
I think the Sharks. Sorry to say this to our Penguins guy who was just on the podcast here. I think the Sharks have a better chance of winning the cup, to be honest with you, because the Sharks have been mind-blowing all playoffs and are the best road team in the playoffs this year.
And that is something I actually was debating on earlier in the day, was about with our Canucks guy. He was talking about statistics, and I'm like, listen, I don't give a fuck about statistics, okay? I'm not a stats guy. But what I can tell you is that the Sharks were a much deeper team in terms of presence, veteranship, and whatever. It all comes down to the little stuff. If you have to work smart, not hard. And San Jose has been working smart and hard this whole entire playoff run. And for me to say that San Jose was able to win games on the road, if they can get away with 2 games or at least 1 game in Pittsburgh, there's a chance for them to take home ice, because they've been great all playoff run on home ice, but they've probably been better on the road than they have been at home. Don't you guys agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people say that a series doesn't start until someone loses at home. And I can see Pittsburgh losing at home before I see San Jose losing at home.
I don't think San Jose is going to lose at home, to be honest with you, because I know that they didn't have the best, run in the in the Western Conference semis against Nashville a while back, but I honestly thought San Jose was just a better team. That Nashville series should have never went 7, and I'm just pointing that out now. That should have been a 5 or 6 game series, but you know what? For the most counterpart, I think San Jose really got over the hump pretty quickly, if you ask me. So that's that. And okay, so what do you guys think about the Sharks' depth? I know Steph something, and I know Ricky said something, but what about you, Bill?
I haven't been following their roster too much, but depth-wise, it's getting older, to say the least. It's not as young as it was at one time, but
But Britt, you there, man?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you were here. Say what?
What?
No, I was asking you. I didn't even know you were here.
Oh. No, I'm here.
You should have said hi. Well, anyway, guys, that's BladesofBuffalo. She's our second admin at the Buffalo Sabres. There she is.
The one that's putting Bobby in the doghouse tonight.
Oh, quiet. I hate you guys.
No.
Oh God, kill me.
You're a Buffalo's fan. It'll happen eventually.
Ricky and Bill, I'm not sure if I told you guys. A few podcasts ago, when Brittany was over at Bobby's when we did a podcast, Brittany kept punching Bobby on the
That's like
side every time I would post a
five.
Beef Nuts picture.
You see my screen, Steph?
I'm on my phone, dude.
Yeah, Avi was here a couple
You love
months.
mocking me. You love mocking me.
Yes, I do, because you're easy.
I mean,
that's part of being an Avs fan. You get mocked.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. The logo on Hasek's ring is not a saber. That's all I'm saying.
You know, if I had
In Bobby's mind, he's a Rangers fan.
Ooh.
Definitely not.
Hey,
Definitely
Steph,
not.
why did you tell us the truth? Why did you tell us that you're a Maple Leafs fan, huh? Why did you tell us that?
I'm a Habs diehard. Thank you. The Leafs fucking suck.
Hey, Steph, I got you a present. Here, take it.
Bobby, I'm on my phone. I don't have my camera
You
on.
can't
I'm just saying. Don't count the Leafs out. I think their rebuild is going quicker than everyone expects it to.
No, I don't believe that at all.
I think the Leafs
No.
are gonna.
Do they
I
not
think the Leafs.
have a rebuild?
The Leafs are gonna be a
will
playoff team in the next 3 years. They're gonna be a playoff team.
Doubt it.
No.
I didn't think they knew how to do that, to be honest.
Do what?
Rebuild.
Oh, that's easy. He's an Avalanche fan. Yeah, how do you like me now, Rick? Yeah, he's in a little corner. He's got a little fucking blanket. Actually, he's going like this. In the corner. He's just hiding like this because he's embarrassed. Anyway, so let's break this series down. Who do you guys think has the best offense?
San Jose, but it's close.
Close. Why do you say San Jose, Steph?
Because both Pittsburgh and San Jose are productive, but I just find San Jose more productive.
So you're saying San Jose, you're saying is more productive than what the Penguins are able to do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm taking San Jose in 6, and I just think Pittsburgh's too dinged up, and I think Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, I think it's going to show itself, and I think it's going to be one of those series. It's going to be whoever scores last wins, because I don't like either goaltending duo, and I like the forwards too much on both teams, and I just think the injuries are going to get the better of Pittsburgh. I think Letang goes down again after taking a stiff check from either Burns or Pavelski. And I don't see them getting over it. I understand the HBK line is probably the best line in hockey right now. And I do say right now because the Nines line in Colorado is not on the ice. But I think the dings and dents and everything in Pittsburgh is going to get their number.
And what about you, Bill? Who do you think has the better offense? We can't hear you, man.
He's watching the Leafs Laughs Cup video. Sorry, he had to bust out the 8mm film. Hang on. I doubled down on that.
That's
I think
funny.
San Jose is going to be the team to beat.
Oh God, that's funny. Um, Bill, who do you got? Sharks or Penguins in terms of offense?
Sharks.
Why?
Just that HBK line is going to be a total shutdown line against the Pittsburgh. I'm going to shut Pittsburgh's offense right now.
So you're saying San Jose has the best offensive team right now?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned.
So we got Sharks. What about you, Britt? Pittsburgh or San Jose?
Well, overall, I think Pittsburgh is gonna pull out with the big win because they know what it's like to be in the finals. So I think they're just gonna, take the Sharks and tie them in a bow tie kind of thing.
I see where you're coming from with the experience thing, but the problem is going to be the goaltending. I mean, Murray hasn't been there before. And I think he's gonna get blinded in the lights. I really do. I think the new guys in Pittsburgh are gonna get blinded in the lights.
I think everybody's hyping up the Sharks too much, that they're gonna get overly confident, and that's gonna trip them up in the finals.
I don't know about that.
Everybody's like hopping on the Sharks
I
bandwagon.
don't know about that,
Yeah.
Britt.
What?
I don't know about that because who knows what is gonna happen next?
That's
Right.
my opinion.
Honestly, you never know what's gonna happen next in sports.
Exactly. But I just think that they're gonna go in with a big head and it's gonna explode and it's not gonna be good for them.
Yes, Pittsburgh has experience in the finals.
That means a lot.
But San Jose does not. But Martin Jones has experience in the finals because
it's the paper boy of Jonathan Quick.
Yeah, he's got bench experience behind brick wall quick. I mean, you can't really say it. I mean, he's been in the atmosphere, but he rode Pine. He rode Pine to 2 rings. I mean,
well, no, technically it's one.
Oh, that's right. Bernier was still the backup for the first one, wasn't he?
I call him Jonathan the Bitch Bernier because the guy was like, even though I won a Stanley Cup, I want to go to another team that gives me a shot. Yeah, I want to go to Toronto.
All right. Would you rather be rather be a backup on a good team or a starter on a okay team in a rebuild?
I actually rather
if
be.
I'm a goalie in the hockey league, I want to be a starter. I want to be the guy. I don't blame him for that move.
I mean, and look what happened to him. He's become the biggest joke since the fucking Oilers winning the McDavid lottery.
All I'm saying, that's the problem. I don't understand what's wrong with Edmonton. I think if you have that many number 1 overall picks on one team and you still can't make playoffs, something is wrong at the top. That is no longer a team issue. That is a front office issue.
I mean, it's only fair to say. I mean, don't you think, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, A. Okay, time to talk about the defense. Who's got the better defense going into the series, San Jose or Pittsburgh?
Oh, I'm gonna put
that's
a
tough.
big equal sign in between them. I think they're absolutely even in defense. I think Burns matches up well with Letang and Mata. I think yeah. Beep beep beep. That's all, folks.
So you're saying it's equal, but if you were pointed a gun to your head and somebody asked you that question, Pittsburgh or San Jose? Okay, this is my gun. All right, Ricky, who do you got? You got a gun to your head. Who do you got, Pittsburgh or San Jose?
Dramatic.
I'm gonna take San Jose because they have better offensive defensemen.
Okay, San Jose.
I think as far as defense, like the definition of defensively, I think they're even. I think they are 100% even defensively. I think this battle will not be decided by the defense.
We'll have to see. What about you, Britt? Pittsburgh or San Jose? Best defense?
Well, my whole spiel kind of went overall.
How?
What do you mean how?
You said spiel. My whole thing went spiel.
Yeah. Like, was the team overall, not just like offense, defense type thing. It was like the team.
No, just defense. We're going by
You
category.
just said that before I made my spiel.
I said who has the better offense. You said.
But I said overall, and you just let me go.
No, I said who has the best offense overall. That's what I said.
Well, when I said overall, I meant the whole team. And now my whole spiel for defense is going to be the same. So just rewind, I guess.
Okay. Britt, who do you got on defense? Go.
Do I really have to say it again?
Yes, you do. Say defense. Who do you got on defense? You said San Jose on offense. Who do you got on defense?
Oh, I said Pittsburgh
Oh,
on offense.
She's the oddball.
she's been the team's oddball.
On the what?
No, nothing.
What'd you say?
Oh, nothing. I didn't say. I didn't say
He's
anything.
definitely asking for the doghouse.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, he's in it. He's gonna get locked in there.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Joke's on you. He's into it. Joke's on you.
No, I said she is the oddball of the team. That's what I
Oddball?
said. Yeah.
You just called me an oddball.
You said it first.
Well, you are wearing a Met shirt, so.
Oh.
You know what?
All I'm saying is the strike zone is on this side of the batter.
Well,
I think your pitchers need to learn that.
That was 100% not fair call by the umpire. You give somebody a warning and then you throw out the manager. Please, I don't want to get started with that.
It was clearly intentional. The umpire was completely right.
No. Because every pitcher has a bad day. That could have been his one bad pitch. Who's to say? You're not the pitcher. You can't say. I'm just throwing it out there. Every anti-Met fan in the world could say whatever they want. But you know what? Done. That was my spiel with that, too.
I love how you two just go into an environment rage about baseball, and while we're talking about the defense of the Sharks.
Nobody cares. This is a boring final.
Well, you're the one guy.
Let's get back on topic.
Best defense overall, starting with Britt. Who's got the better defense, San Jose or Pittsburgh?
I already said mine.
Oh, yeah, Pittsburgh. That's right.
I think San Jose, because they have more offensive D than Pittsburgh does.
I could see why. What about you, Bill?
San Jose.
San Jose? Is everybody just going with San Jose, or is Brittany the only one picking Pittsburgh?
I'm always
Brittany's the only one that's picking the pen.
Remember when we did the bracket thing? I was the only one picking the other team from you guys, so I'm used to being on the opposite side of the fence.
Yeah, I like the weaker team, even though they got their ass kicked in Game 7.
I vote for underdog.
Oh, there's a Sabres joke there I'm leaving alone.
What?
Oh.
Come back to me in a couple years, buddy. Come back to me in a couple years. I'll tell you that.
Maybe Cubs will come back to you in a couple years.
Yeah, where's Ryan O'Reilly on your team?
Hear less about the Cubs. We beat them in the what's it called?
Stanley Cup.
What's that word? Playoffs last year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it figures a Sabres fan wouldn't know how to say playoffs.
You know what? You're lucky we're in a screen right now.
Good stuff.
Ricky, how long has it been since the Avalanche last won a cup?
2001. So 15.
15 years.
Yep.
15.
It's been 23 for Montreal, and Montreal deserves one.
And it's been...
Oh, please.
The curse of St. Patrick, never going to happen. It's Montreal's fault.
Not going to happen with Patrick Roy.
And it's been 17 years since the Sabres last went to the cup.
That's cool. I mean, at least you guys have been. That's more than some teams can say.
Yeah, it's been 49 since the Leafs last did anything.
What do you do?
I love how Bill's just taking the abuse about everybody in this chat talking about the Leafs. It's just I'm used to it. Don't worry, I'm just used to it at this point.
Anything.
That's true. Next category: power play and penalty kill. Who do you guys have for that?
How many more do we have to go, Bobby?
Don't worry, we got plenty of time.
But can we speed it up a bit though?
How many topics is left?
Well, go. So it'll just be me, Ricky, and Bill then. If you can't make it go through, then just go.
All right, later.
All right, there's one. All right, power play and penalty kill. Who do you guys got for this one? Pittsburgh or San Jose?
I'm actually taking Pittsburgh on the power play.
Really?
I say that knowing that San Jose has, I think, given up some of the least penalties in the playoffs. so I don't think we're going to get to see a lot of it. But I am taking Pittsburgh on the power play.
All right. And then what about you, Bill?
San Jose.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. What about you, Britt? Okay, never mind. She's Pittsburgh all the way.
Yes, just because everybody else is San Jose, I like to be on the opposite side of the fence.
Until we all come back and be like,
Yeah.
wow.
What?
And then we all come back like,
Wow.
wow.
All the land over there.
Oh, don't worry. She can come over here any second and beat my ass with a belt buckle.
Yeah, I could be there in 5 minutes, dude, so keep it up.
Yeah, don't worry. You silly goose.
You really just say silly goose.
Yes, I did.
Fucking New Yorkers.
All right, and then we are down to the final prediction. Who do you got and how many games? Go. Starting with Bill.
All right.
You just cut him off.
Yeah. Bill, who do you got, man?
San Jose in 6.
You got San Jose in 6. What about you, Rick?
San Jose in 6, and I got $20 back in it.
$20. Wow. Why did you bet on that?
Because I'm getting 7-1.
Oh God, dude. You're gonna look like an ass if they lose.
I don't care.
Ah, $20.
I look like the greatest of all time when they do it.
We'll see what happens. What about you, Brett?
I have Pittsburgh.
How many games?
5. I'm being daring.
5. Wow. Wow.
I'd really like to see San Jose in 4, but I know that's not going to happen.
If the only way I see it going for it is if they win 2 games in Pittsburgh. Because remember, the Sharks have the best road team in the playoffs. So that's that. And for me, I'm taking the Sharks in 6.
I'd love to see it.
I
would like to see Sharks in 4 or Sharks in 6. Those are the 2 I would like to see. I don't want to see them winning the cup on the road. I hate when teams win the cup on the road. Always have.
Why?
I think that they deserve to win it in front of their fans. They deserve that celebration in front of their fans. I hated sweeping the Panthers in '96. I hated sweeping them. I wanted them to win it in 5. I like when teams win it in front of their fans. I like to hear the pop. I like to hear them count down the clock. Just like when San Jose, they both got to win their conferences at home, which I thought was great.
Okay. So, I actually can kind of relate to that because the Sabres got humiliated by the Dallas Stars in 1999 in triple overtime by Brett Hall.
No goal. I'm sorry, you guys got screwed.
Thank you. You're one of the few people who said that.
No goal.
Thank you.
The definition of the rules at that time, that is no goal.
Thank you.
His foot was in the crease.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys still losing 7, but I build you up, I get you on a good mood, and I just fucking.
You know what?
No, stop it.
I just threw a fucking pen at you, so that's just that.
Hasek still only wins 1 ring, not in Buffalo, but.
You're gonna get smacked.
Hey, in fairness, Detroit bought that cup. They straight bought that cup.
Yeah, so did Colorado.
No, we did not buy a cup.
Bullshit, you know it. Patrick Waugh, Joe Sakic.
We had no. We had 2 guys on that roster that came in from other teams.
No.
Ray Bourque, Rob Blake. Those are the only 2 people on that team that were not drafted by Colorado or Quebec.
Bullshit. Peter Forsberg was traded in the Eric Lindros deal.
Okay. Okay, let me phrase that.
Oh yeah. No. Wait. And then Patrick Waugh got traded from Montreal.
Okay, except for the players on that team who weren't on the '96 team. So let me rephrase that so I'm right here because I can do that.
It's time you just give up, Ricky. You ain't gonna win.
No.
Yeah.
He interrupted me before I could finish.
Yourself.
Such a rude New Yorker. Of the player minus the 5 players who were on the '96 team, there were only 2 players on the '01 team that weren't drafted by Colorado, which is Rob Blake and Ray Bourque.
I find that honestly hard to believe because that would just prove to me that you bought half your team from that point.
Well, no, because I'm going to pull up the 0-1 roster, and I'm going to pull this because, I mean, I can name the 0-1 roster mostly off the top of my head, but I just want to make sure I get this right.
No worries, I already got it right here, so you don't have to worry about it.
Can I ask you something, Bobby?
Yes.
All right, so when you want a player that's on another team, what do you offer them?
What do I offer to another team for a player I want?
Yes.
It depends who it is.
No. What do you offer them?
More
Like
money, leadership,
Exactly.
captaincy.
well,
Money.
the Saber.
So every team buys X amount of players when you actually think about it. Other ones, if you're bad like us, we draft. But most teams buy. Well, actually, you offer them a contract that still equals. So, what's your point?
Okay, fine. Let's see. I'm gonna give you the list of names, Ricky, and you tell me who was on this 2001 Avalanche team. You tell me if they were drafted or bought it, just to prove my point. You
Okay.
ready? David Avisher,
Drafted.
Patrick Waugh,
Traded, but he was 96, and I said minus the 5 that were on the 96 team.
Brian Muir,
Was not on the Cup team. He was sent down to the minors.
okay, Aaron Miller,
Minors.
Brad Larson,
Never even heard of him. Okay, he must be minor. He must be minors too.
okay, Chris
Because
Dingman,
Dingman was drafted.
Rob Blake,
LA trade.
Dave Reed.
Drafted.
How was
He
that
was
possible? That guy was an old fuck when he came here.
Quebec draft.
Okay.
He was drafted by Quebec, then traded away, and then we reacquired him.
Okay, so you traded for him.
All right, now you're just being stingy. Stop it. Move on.
Alexei Gusarov.
Goose was not on the 01 team.
It says it right here.
What roster are you looking at? Goose was in...
I'm looking at the 2000-2001 Colorado Avalanche, Ricky.
No, we traded... No, Goose was not on that... We traded him. He was part... No, we traded him for picks that year. Hold on. Move on. I'll remember it in a minute. But he got traded.
Okay, Peter Forsberg.
Technically Quebec draft Lindros shenanigans. He was part of the 5.
I forgot one, by the way. Dan Highnote.
Drafted.
Greg DeVries.
Undrafted, but signed to a minor deal by us.
Adam Denmarsh.
Drafted, but traded to LA in the Blake deal.
Okay.
He was on the 96 team.
Okay, then. Stefan Yell.
Part of the original 5, part of the 96 5. And Stefan Yell is one of the most underrated players of all time. Stefan Yell is so good.
Yep. John Clem.
Clem. 96 team.
Milan Hayduk.
Drafted.
Steven Wonbrick.
He came over in the Blake deal. So that there are 3 players. I forgot about Reinprecht.
Okay. Eric Messier.
That's who we traded Gusarov for, to the Rangers, I think it was.
Rangers. That should be part of a remix.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Goose went to the Rangers in that year for, I think, picks and Messier and whatever.
Sean Podian.
Podine.
Whatever.
And drafted. He was in our minor system for a long time.
Okay, then, so that doesn't count. Rob Shear.
Minors.
Martin Skula.
Drafted.
Scott Parker.
He came over in one of the trades. I think he may have come over in the... yeah. He came over in a trade. I just don't remember from who.
Yuri Bamiko.
Undrafted but signed. No, I take that back. I'm looking at it right here. Because I couldn't remember Scott Parker. He was originally drafted by the New Jersey Devils, but then went back into the minor system and then was redrafted by Colorado, which I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, he was redrafted by Colorado.
Fair enough. Nolan Pratt.
He's old, huh? We may have picked him up in free agency or something.
So you bought him technically.
Yeah.
Chris Drury, my main man, Chris Drury.
Fuck Chris Drury.
I love Chris Drury.
He is a whiny, self-entitled. He quit the Avalanche because they wouldn't take the captaincy away from Sakic and give it to him.
Oh, sorry, Dan. He is my boy, okay? I fucking love Chris Drury. No, shut up. I love Chris Drury.
Your boy's a bitch. Your boy's a bitch. That's all I've got to say.
He was your bitch, and now he's my bitch, and he's one of the best players to ever play for the Sabres. Period.
Your boy's a bitch. Yeah, that's not saying much. That's like being the fastest kid in the Special Olympics. I mean, everyone's a winner. I'm sorry, your boy's a bitch. He was honored to the 20th anniversary team of the Colorado Avalanche and did not show up.
I don't blame him, because your team sucks. I can tell you that.
I can't really hear what you're saying because I got my 2 Stanley Cup rings plugging my ears.
Patrick Watt quotes. Very nice. Joe Piprick.
Okay, I'll believe you there. I'll believe you. I'm sure that's a minor guy.
Rick Barry.
Drafted.
Ville Nieminen.
Drafted, and another super underrated player. That line that year, it was Greg DeVries, Stefan Yell, and Ville Nieminen, and that was one of the best lines in our history. I mean, you can have your Forsberg lines, your Sakic lines. That line right there was because it was our shutdown lines. It was our third line, but it was a goal scoring third line, and I think that was a big part of the reason we won the Stanley Cup is because we had 4 lines of goal scorers.
Ville Nieminen.
Ville Nieminen is the man. He was drafted.
Adam Foote. No surprise there.
That's a Quebec draft.
Okay, then. Alex Tanguay.
Draft.
You guys are a bitch for drafting
him. Alex Tanguay was a victim of the salary cap in 2004. Just like Foote, just like Forsberg.
Okay, then. Joe Sakic.
Come on now.
Okay, fine. And finally, Ray Bourque. Trade.
Yeah. That's not really buying him, though. He requested to come to a contender because he was at the end of his career and he wanted a cup. And that is doing the old Stanley Cup juju of getting a really old player at the end of his career and winning a cup.
Oh, I want jujus.
That's just what that is. I mean, Chicago did it with Kimmo Timonen, or Timo Kimmonen, as I call him.
Timo Kimmonen.
Timo Kimmonen. Yeah.
Wait, what the hell does that apply?
Nothing. I said it backwards one time and it just stuck. I don't remember where, so I just call him Timo Kimmonen now.
Yeah, I'm just reading a book just so I don't have to hear this argument. Yeah, I got my book right here.
Didn't know Sabres fans could read, but all right. Because they clearly can't. Because they clearly can't read contracts. So.
What are you trying to apply here, Ricky? What are you trying to apply?
That you guys have bad front office management? I mean.
What the hell are you talking about?
Hold on, just a minute. I got a phone call I got to take.
Are you talking about the Darcy McGear era?
He's on the phone.
Yeah, because actually, I think he just went to go grab his phone. He's like, give me the information to the Sabres management, please.
Why would you put the book to your head?
He's like, I want to be fancy.
Is it your phone right next to you?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Hi, can I have the Sabres information, please?
Dodo.
I am a dodo, you dodo.
Dodo.
Bill, how do you enjoy yourself these days?
How do I enjoy myself? I'm just laughing at you guys.
Well,
Battles.
yeah, right. And I just wanted to point out a few things here. Is that for anybody besides this fucking scumbag in my middle screen here, which is our Avalanche admin, there is a new foundation I want to talk about real quick. And Brittany wanted to talk about it for a while. And why don't you tell us what you posted the other day, Britt?
Huh?
No.
A lot of things.
No. No. I asked you. Tell us what you posted on the page the other day, and this is you. What?
Oh, about Bogosian?
Yes.
Oh, BOGO Bunch.
Tell us what it is.
Oh, all right. So let me get it. I gotta get it.
Oh
Wait.
God.
Wait.
Here we go with another adventure.
All right. Are we still recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Not kidding.
So for everybody out there, I don't know if you saw my post about Bogosian, the Buffalo Sabres defense. He started a charity for. Let me get the exact words. All right. The objective of this nonprofit charity is to help families in need, and it creates like a friendly environment for everybody in New York. So, they don't have like their website up yet when I checked on their Instagram. But let me get it. Hang on. Let me show you.
Yeah, because I put the link on my Sabres page. If you want to go check out that post, or I can just put it on the link of this video, is the link to the Boga Bunch Foundation, which you can follow on Twitter and Instagram. So I'll send down the link on the bottom of this video when we're done here.
Yeah, I didn't add the link in with my post because they don't have their website set up yet. But as soon as they do, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah,
Pretty cool charity. This is their logo. That's Bogosian, who created it.
Zach
47, Zach Bogosian.
Yeah, your thing is a little blurry, but I'll put it up on the bigger screen because it's like. There it is. The Bogo Bunch. There it is.
So I'll keep you guys posted when their website officially comes out. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thumbs up to that guy.
There's the Bogo Bunch logo.
Showed it.
Yeah. So if everybody, I would have all our admins. I don't care if you're a Sabres fan, a Leafs fan, a magician, or a doctor. I don't care who you are. Go subscribe to that foundation. Donate some money when they have the website ready to go. So in the meantime, though, prior to everything here, and I'm sure everybody has some sort of piece of information, but Bill, why don't you tell us what you heard about with the Leafs? Because I know there's been some rumors about the Leafs lately. Do you have any other pieces of information?
Right now, I've been following Mitch Marner. That's been my biggest thing right now. Has been watching his play running the Memorial Cup because he's very close to breaking 2 records.
And what's the 2 records?
One is for the most points in the Memorial Cup, and the other one, I believe it's goals.
Interesting.
One he's at 13-4, and the other one I think I can't even remember what the other one is.
Typing?
Yeah, that's me and my 1940s keyboard.
Cheap bastard.
He took another shot at the Leafs. 1940. Oh wait, that's the year the Rangers won the cup. Never mind.
Oh. No, they won it in '94. They've won their cup since Montreal won theirs.
Yeah, but before '94, it was 1940 was the last time the Rangers won the cup. And every Islander fan, including myself, would chant 1940 at every Ranger Islander game. Whenever the Islanders beat the Rangers, or whether it was in the middle of the game, they would always chant 1940 just to taunt the Rangers, because it was like 54 years in that span since the Rangers last won the cup.
Well, it's easy to talk shit when you're the team to beat in the league. I mean, 4 straight, no one's done that.
Actually, there has. There's been 2.
Well, in modern era, not original 6 era, when you only had to beat 2 teams to win the cup.
Chicago Blackhawks do not count as a dynasty. They have 3 championships, but they're not a dynasty.
3 and 6, that's a dynasty. In today's modern game, 3 and 6 is a dynasty.
That's not a dynasty. A dynasty.
That's a dynasty.
Not even close. A dynasty would probably be like back-to-back years. Like if the Blackhawks won the cup in 2014, that would be a dynasty. Win the cup in 2014 and then win it the following year. That's a dynasty.
A modern dynasty. I mean, it's hard to win back-to-back championships because there is so much parity in leagues now. So I would say 3-6, 3-5, 2-4. Those are like, I refuse to call the Kings a dynasty because 2-4. Like if they would have gone back, like a sustained period of success with the same core of players, that's a dynasty. And when you have Chicago winning 3 cups in 6 years with the same core of players, that's a dynasty. I hate the Blackhawks. I hate Chicago. I hate Boston.
Well, I agree with you, Boston, but
I will call the Blackhawks a dynasty. I will call the San Francisco Giants a dynasty.
Well, put it this way. I don't hate the Blackhawks, but I hate Boston, and I agree with you on that. So what are you going to say about that?
I think the definition of dynasty has changed. That's really all I've had to say about it for a long time.
Because the last true dynasty team was the 80s with the New York Islanders, when they won their 4 straight cups.
No, the last true dynasty team was the Red Wings of the late 90s.
No, it was not. Don't even.
Yes, it was.
No, it's not.
They made how many conference finals in a row?
Who cares about the conference finals, Ricky? We're talking about the fucking Stanley Cup. We're talking about the 13.
You realize this is an Avalanche fan saying that the Detroit Red Wings of the 90s was probably the last great dynasty, hockey dynasty, right?
And you're arguing with a Sabres fan who would even tell you winning 2 back-to-back cups is great, but that's no dynasty. Winning a dynasty would probably be 3 in a row or 3 in 4 years. That's a dynasty, not 3 in 6 years. But
actually, you just contradicted yourself because, like, a minute ago you said if they won back-to-back stuff with the Blackhawks, then that would be considered a dynasty.
no, I said if they went back-to-back, then lose 1 year and then go back to win in the next. That's a dynasty. So technically, the Red Wings with them back-to-back years, that's not really a dynasty. If they were to win the Cup in 1999, which they didn't, obviously because the Sabres lost the Stars, but if they were to win the Cup in 99, that would be a dynasty, regardless of what it is. I mean, I could talk about the New Jersey Devils being a dynasty, but I know they're not a dynasty from the early 2000s. The Red Wings are good. They won 4 Cups in, 20 years? That's still good, but that's not a dynasty.
Well, the team's late 90s from 1995 to 2003. 4 teams won the Stanley Cup. And 3 of them won multiple cups.
The Devils?
The Devils, the Red Wings, and the Avalanche. They won every single cup from 1995 to 2003 except for that bastard cup in 99. You're welcome. You knew where I was going with it. You knew when I said 4 teams won the cup. You knew it was going to come up.
But where's the 4th team? Because you mentioned 3.
Sabres. Not Sabres, Stars. They were the 4th team to win a cup in that thing. If you're gonna keep picking the scab, I mean, whatever. But it went Devils 95, Avalanche 96, Red Wings 97, Red Wings 98, Dallas in 99, Devils in 2000, Avalanche 2001, Detroit 2002, Devils 2003. So basically 3 teams won every single cup for 10 years, 11 years.
Because some teams contradicted themselves. Carolina, Buffalo,
Right.
a bit of, of that time frame. Philadelphia, those were teams that could have won the cup, and then they got screwed over.
Carolina only won the cup because of CurseofStPatrick, and I'll say that.
No.
It's
No, shut up. I don't want to talk about the 06 Carolina Hurricanes, because that was another team that fucked us over.
Maybe it wasn't our time. Every team has a season, Wasn't our season, dude.
Yeah, try going 7 games and then take the lead after the second and then blow 3 more goals in the third period in Game 7. One period of
Maple Leafs?
Maybe we just not good.
Oh, the Leafs! I forgot about them, but that doesn't count.
No, you didn't. You stop it.
No. I mean, actually, I don't think them going to the playoffs in 2013 doesn't really count because it was a short season. Try going through a full season, I guarantee you the Leafs would have missed the playoffs like they normally do.
Hey, we can't talk, dude.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Me?
Yeah, you.
What do you mean what I'm talking about?
Well, you said the Leafs, and then we're talking about the Sabres. Are you talking about the last 5 years, or are you talking about the last 10 years?
Even the dogs tell you to just stay quiet now, Bobby.
Come on, yeah. Go out the door.
The problem I have with the 2006 Carolina Hurricanes is they're probably the weakest team to ever win the Stanley Cup.
I don't know about the weakest, but they...
I would say pound for pound the weakest team to ever win the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, if they were weak, then why'd they win?
Curse of St. Patrick. They played a Canadian team in the finals.
I don't believe in like superstitions like that.
Oh, I absolutely believe in the Curse of St. Patrick.
No, I just think that it was their time. It was what they did, what they had to do to win, and they got it done. Obviously, I don't believe in superstition in sports.
Looks like we're keeping Bobby up.
Yeah, pick on the Sabres and fuck out of here. I mean, okay, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because we picked on the Leafs.
Yeah.
Leafs deserve it, though.
No, they don't.
They kind of do.
The Leafs will continue to be a joke until they...
I'm telling you, the Leafs are on the cusp of being a playoff team.
They are on the cusp of being a playoff team. So is Edmonton and Buffalo.
Edmonton is not even close.
Buffalo.
No, I think Buffalo definitely in a couple years. Leafs maybe in a few, but Edmonton they're never gonna do anything. With like, it's impossible, honestly.
You get someone more solid than Robin Lehner in goal, and then we'll talk.
Look,
What?
they gotta look.
I like Omar.
I know you do, Britt. But the thing is about Leonard is that they need to build around a good defense. I mean, they have Ristolainen, they have Bogosian, they have Georges and McCabe, but that's not a good defense around them because, let's be honest, the only real two legit defensemen on the Sabres defensive core is Bogosian and Ristolainen. That's it.
Yeah, but they can't rely on the same two people.
Yeah, but they got to get more defense. They got to
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to get rid of some guys.
That's what they're trading for.
Rasmus, greatest draft steal in the 21st century, Ristolainen.
That guy's a monster.
That is the biggest draft steal of all time. You guys got so lucky that he was available. That you got him so low.
Yeah, I mean, what else is not to like about it? I mean, the same thing could happen if the Sabres take Jacob Chikrin or Jake Bean or Mikhail Sergachev or whoever else is available at the time when it comes. Yeah, I know. Bill's like, yeah, Austin Matthews, number one guy. Yeah, he's better than Eichel. Come on, Bill.
I didn't say a word.
No. I know what you're thinking.
Buffalo pull another Edmonton move and they'll choke like they usually do.
Says the Leafs.
Buffalo's forwards are too good for them to choke.
They
need someone better than Robin Lehner in goal. Their goal. Ryan Miller was probably the worst decision they ever made. Was getting rid of him.
No, he didn't have to. He wanted to be out of Buffalo. They wanted to get rid of him so they could go forward. That was the plan. The plan was to get rid of him for value, and then later they think, okay, we can get some sort of value for this guy, and then be done with it later. And they got a lot of return. They used most of those assets for later future needs. You know, the first round pick they got from the Blues trade, they used it to get they used it to get Evander Kane, and then the Islanders pick they got for Vanek, they used on Robin Leonard. And then the pick that they got in the third round of 2016, they have 4 third-round picks in this draft, so they're going to certainly trade 3 of them, or keep 2 at least.
Omar.
Yeah, I know, you like Omar. So, does anybody here have any last-minute comments? I know the show was supposed to end an hour ago, but does anybody have any last comments before we wrap up the Stanley Cup special tonight?
Colorado needs defense. Please apply.
Please apply? What about you, Bill?
No, I'm good.
You good? What about you, Britt?
What are we talking about?
What's your last comment?
You sure she's not blonde, Bobby?
The thing with this whiteout pen, it is so cool.
Whiteout pen? I've never seen anybody play with a whiteout pen before.
I'll let you try it next time you come over.
Yeah, okay. I'll probably be drawing on your face when you're sleeping.
You're so mean.
I am a meanie. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Anyway, so I guess we should wrap it up here, guys. So let's tell each other who we are one more time, starting with Bill. What's your tag name, and we can go from there.
Blue Leaf.
And you are who?
Leaf admin.
There you go. Painful Leaf. I should call you I Cry at Night.
Oh, yeah.
I should. It's funny.
As much as you rag on him, at least he's got Stanley Cups, man.
And how long has it been?
It doesn't matter. It's still been less time than
More
Buffalo.
cups than all you combined.
Don't say all because there is a Habs fan here. So.
No, there's not. She's long
Oh,
gone.
she left. Oh, she left. All right, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. 2 cups.
God damn it. Anyway, so tell us who you are, Ricky, one more time before we go.
I am the Curse of St. Patrick. I am all things Colorado.
Yep, and
seriously, we need defensemen. Please help.
All right, give us Tyson Berry.
Nope. You give us Ryan O'Reilly back. You can have him.
No. You want that overpaid bastard on your team again? Who's been fully productive?
I want Ryan O'Reilly, Paul Stastny, and P.A. Parento back.
No. That's never gonna happen because Ryan O'Reilly hates Colorado.
Ryan O'Reilly does not hate Colorado. He hates that they didn't give him the money he deserved. Because we are just absolutely raped on cap space right now. Because Nathan McKinnon is going to want to get paid. McKinnon is going to want to get paid after next season, and we are going to be in a bad shape. We're going to be in bad shape next season with cap space. Because Mac's going to want money. Duchesne's going to want money. Varley's out the door, as far as I'm concerned. Varley's getting traded. Varlamov's getting traded. We got Pickard and Berra waiting to take over. Pickard is as good a starter as Varley is lately, and I know we can get value for Varley.
What about Spencer Martin?
Take him or leave him. I think here's my problem with Barley, and I know this is Stanley Cup, but I need to rant on Colorado for a little bit. And I know we're running over, but everyone likes seeing the misery wallow in themselves. We need defensemen badly. Our turnover, our Corsi, if you want to get into the advanced statistics, our puck possession turnover is garbage. Like bottom 5 in the league for every year. We need people who can hold on to the puck. We need people who can take the puck away. We are a team built for speed. We are a team built of snipers. We do not have muscle. We do not have someone who can get someone off the puck. And apart from Cody McLeod and Eric Johnson, we don't have it, and we need it badly. And we have a Vezina finalist in Semyon Varlamov who is capable of being an elite goaltender. He's got it in him. He's just had the injury bug the last couple seasons. You cannot say he's not capable. He's got the potential of it when he's putting up a 54 save shutout against the defending Stanley Cup champions. It's the
most
saves in a shutout in Chicago's history.
Fair enough. And
they just need teams to kick the tires on. We need teams to take a chance on them. And I know there's teams out there that are hurting for goaltenders that have players we can get for them. We can send them up to Calgary and get value for them there. We could probably send him to Buffalo and get value for him there. We could send him to I'm trying to think who's all looking for a solid goalie right now. Edmonton needs a goalie.
Calgary.
I say Calgary. I wish Hartley would come back to Colorado. We need a good assistant coach. I had this pipe dream that we got Mark Crawford and Bob Hartley as assistant coaches under Patrick Wall, but that's not happening.
Nope.
Vancouver could. I don't know if they're going to stay with Snyder or if they're going to look for a new guy.
Schneider.
Corey Schneider.
He's not even on the team.
Since when did Schneider leave?
Schneider got traded like 3 years ago.
No, not Schneider. I know who I'm thinking of.
Miller.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
Millsy is probably going to retire next year.
Yeah.
Any last minute comments, Rick, before we go?
We need defensemen. Please help.
And tell us who you are one more time.
I am the Curse of St. Patrick.
And you are the Avalanche admin, as you mostly have spoken.
Yay.
Yay, that's fun for you. And Brett, who are you one more time? Brittany. You hear what did you hear what I said?
No.
No, I said tell us who you won one more time and who you were an admin for.
Sabres.
What's your name? Yeah, let her.
Leave us with Mets fan. Screw up Lord's Prayer.
Shut up. Well, Sabres admin.
And you are one more time?
Blades of Buffalo.
There you go. And
There you go, genius.
I'm sorry, this pen is so cool.
I've never seen anybody get so amused by a pen. I'm sorry.
Small things amuse small minds.
It's a small world after all.
Honestly, I just broke it.
Good job. Yay! Give her a round of applause. Yay! And I am Boomstick, the head admin of the Buffalo Sabres. But you. Anyway, I am Boomstick, the head admin of the Buffalo Sabres.
Nobody cares.
Shut up.
Isn't that the Sabres motto? Nobody
What?
cares.
No, it's just Bobby's motto.
No. No, my motto is, you be fine.
You're so annoying. No, fine, okay.
Yep. And I am Boomstick, the head admin of the Buffalo Sabres and the head admin of this podcast. And thank you so much, guys, for listening to us and watching us. I know this was almost over 2 hours, just about, and this is our Stanley Cup special. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for serving our time with us, and have a good night to all. Drive safe, don't get too drunk, and have a good Stanley Cup, and have a good Memorial Day weekend.